Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're back to training after nationals here, so I've got a brand new week of footage for you all and kind of talking through my thought process and how everything went from my first week back. So I do have a video coming out. I'll probably put it out tomorrow about my mindset getting back to training after a competition and the whole idea of taking time off or not as a power lifter. But that's going to be the focus for that video. So if you're interested in that, keep an eye out for it whenever it comes out tomorrow. As for today, I'm just going to be going over, some of the changes and things I think went well for the last cycle for nationals, and things that it seems like we're working on from Bill with this amount of time off. So as you can see, we're keeping safety bar squats in sets of 8, and you'll notice starting really light. This is 50% of my max, that 405. It was a 5x8, I believe, and then going immediately into Bulgarian split squats with the safety squat bar on my back. Now, you'll notice all of these exercises this week are really light, but they really tore me up. And it's partially because, after a week off after competition, you're just going to be feeling a bit rusty. Plus, during a peak, you lose that fitness, the capability to handle volume. So even light weights at higher volume are going to stack up in these very beginning weeks. And for me, it's usually the second or third week that's usually the toughest, because it's starting to get heavier, but I'm still not quite adapted. And then by the fourth week, my body's caught on and can handle that volume pretty well. So you'll notice that as a recurring theme for this week's lifting. Everything moves really fast, but that doesn't mean I'm not getting sore from it and it's not some effective work. We're on to day 2, so regular barbell bench has been taken completely out for day 2, which makes sense to me. I had some pec soreness / strain before competition, so I think we're just trying to build, arms and chest as much as possible without having to deal with a barbell bench press for now during this part of the week. And I certainly enjoyed this day because, I haven't done dips in a really long time. We've got dumbbell bench press back into the mix, along with some other things. And, it allows me just to go in and not take a ton of focus to lift, because, the heavy compound lifts are really mentally taxing. So at this point in the off season, this is a nice time to kind of be able to just flow. And I'm still pushing myself, but it's in a different way with these exercises. So on today, what is this, day 3? And I did forget to mention this. Bill has me doing reverse hyperextensions before every day. It's the very first workout, 4 sets of 10. I didn't videotape these just because of kind of crowding and where the reverse hyper is. I do plan to get some footage of this next week, but what it did do was, I was sore to begin all of my workouts, and then my second lift for day 3 here was actually the one-legged leg press, which I'm a huge fan of. Maybe I'll make a separate video. I really enjoy that over a regular leg press. I feel like it can hit my hamstrings and the glute on that leg way better. And then we went right into hex bar deadlift. So whereas normally my compound lift would be at the very beginning of the workout, we've changed it up a bit so that I'm doing at least some accessories before that compound lift. And moving on to day 4 here, it was the very same thing. Had to go hit reverse hypers and then on to pause squats, which these pause squats are going to be brutal, I can tell. These are supposed to be 5-second pauses for 5 sets of 5. And I felt like my pauses were really solid, but watching a clock, these are even short. It's closer to a 3-second pause. So I need to work on those. And even though the weight was 405 pounds, 50%, I started to get that lactic acid buildup in my legs. And, this will be a challenging exercise. So I'm looking forward to kind of pushing this and seeing how we do. And that's something fun about off season. It gives you time to rotate things, try new things out for your training, and especially after a big arduous prep for nationals or any other competition, it's a good time to rotate, because that's how people get burnt out, is when you just get back to the same old thing. So this is just another set, another angle of those pause squats. I think the pauses on this set was actually a little bit better after I reviewed the footage, but I still don't think it hit the full 5 seconds for all of them. But overall, it's pretty good. I like how stable I was in the bottom. And another thing that I should throw in there, I'm using my 7mm SBD sleeves. Oh, actually, I said that wrong. I'm using my 5mm SBD sleeves. So these don't give nearly as much support, but I really like kind of taking a step back with the aggressiveness of my knee sleeves, at least in the beginning of off-season work. I feel like, I'm taking that step back. That way, as things get heavier, you can start to throw on the heavier knee sleeves, and it's almost like, this little boost whenever you need it. But you don't want to start out with the most aggressive knee sleeve, at least in my opinion. Now, this is my only bench day of the entire week. It was pin presses, 5 sets of 5 at 315 pounds, starting nice and light, so as to not risk any sort of tweak or anything on the pec. All of these went really well. As you'll see, things move well. The only thing about pin presses I'll notice, I think I come down a little bit asymmetrically because my left side hits the pin ever so slightly before my right side does. And that's always a weird experience, because it's like a bang bang whenever it's hitting, and that's an adjustment. So I need to be more technical and try and hit that pin at the same time. And that was followed up with bamboo spoto press, which is actually significantly more difficult than a regular bamboo bench press, in my opinion, because you're trying to hover it off your chest. And with a normal bench, where you're touching and that instability, usually you can kind of stabilize things whenever it hits your chest and recenter yourself. But when you're pausing off the chest like that, you kind of have to do the stabilization by yourself. And then I wrapped up here with dumbbell RDLs, nice and easy, nice and light, getting a good stretch. And also I had biceps and triceps to finish this out. But overall, a good week back at it. I'm super sore just from getting the volume back in, but I'm excited to be back in the gym, period, and see where we can push things. I haven't decided what the meet schedule is going to be like so far. The only thing I have lined up is nationals for next year. So things are wide open, but that provides an opportunity to build. So thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. And until next time, happy lifting.